Gasparilla morning, everyone. Happy holidays, everyone in Tampa. I'm very excited that the city is being brought together once again. I hope we have good weather the entire day, and I'm excited to bring you this special final episode of the Gasparilla Overload with my good friend, Dr. Carlos Garcia. He is the founder over at Tampa Counseling and Wellness. He does mastermind series. He has a lot to offer, and we're going to catch up everyone on all that. And we're also going to dive into a bit of when we're feeling overwhelmed, feeling like we have so much on our plate. When can we go out and enjoy things like Gasparilla? We'll touch on it all. Carlos, I'm glad to start my day with you.
Awesome to be here, buddy. Always such a great honor to be on your show.
Yes, the only complaint I have today is it's chilly for us, Floridians. It's low 50s
We
today
don't like
again.
this weather. Yeah.
Oh man, I like this. I could do the 60s. I don't want the 50s. I don't,
Right,
I don't,
right,
I don't
right,
want the
right.
50s.
Yeah.
But every year during this time, it is. For me, I remember it's historically cold. Last year, Gasparilla was my coldest Gasparilla. I was back at the house around 4. I feel like, but this is a new year. We have a lot to be excited about, a lot to be grateful for. Carlos, if you listen to a mental health break, his show, his company is the show sponsor, the show partner. They have grown quite a bit, Carlos.
Yeah.
I think when you last came on, I think it was last Gasparilla Day. You were the last Gasparilla episode last year. So we're going to make it a yearly thing.
I love
But
it.
I think you just had 3 or 4 people in there. Now you've grown a whole lot bigger. Let's discuss that.
Yeah, so the need for mental health services, in the last few years, Vince, I think you've seen, just as a society, we're struggling, right? And especially our young folks, our youth. Depression is up, anxiety is up, PTSD is up, suicide is up. And so we're just out here trying to do the best that we can for our community and for the world at large. So, we've brought some new staff on board. We have some new folks. We've put in some new positions, and just trying again, trying to serve the community in the best way possible when it comes to mental health and wellness.
And you are doing that. You're in a great location right across from the hospital. Where exactly are you located again for everyone listening on today?
Yeah, so we're at 2814 West Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and like you said, that's right across from St. Joseph's Hospital, right near the stadium. So we're pretty centralized in an ideal location to serve the public.
Yeah. And then online, you are tampacw.com.
TampaCW.com. That's right.
And
And you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, same Tampa Counseling and Wellness.
This segment is sponsored by Bedrock Business Builders, a small business startup specialist. Start, build, manage.
everyone out there, you are not alone. I'm also going to ask him to share the phone number just so if you are at that point where you feel you need to talk to somebody, he has a team of staff that's all friendly, professional, and can help you a lot.
Absolutely. The phone number for our office is 813-520-2807. And, I'm also willing to always give my personal number to anyone who's out there and might be at that place because I've been at that place. And that's 954-830-6222. If you find yourself in a dark place and struggling and need to talk to somebody, reach out, text me, call me. I'm willing to show up and have a conversation.
Yes, we know life can get challenging. It is not always good. There are good with the bad. You have to take it with both. And that's what we were talking about before the show. Kind of in entrepreneurship, it is very frequent to be overloaded, have a lot on your plate, and it can get overwhelming. And when there's a lot in your mind, I hope I can resonate with some listening on today where you have a tough time really enjoying the moment in front of you. And now, as this Gasparilla moment, my toddler book's been a bit delayed, which I thought would be out for the holiday season. This week is a tremendous amount of work because it's the one a day for the Gasparilla overload. It's Podfest right now in Orlando. After this conversation, I'll go out there and then Gasparilla. And then even next week, I'm going to Tallahassee with Tampa General Hospital to advocate with the legislators. So when I'm out and about, these things are going to be on my mind no matter what I feel. Carlos, what are some ways that, or some things you do to actually enjoy yourself and not let work overtake the moment?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, but as achievers in general, I think, right, like I think about society, like we're a society of doers, makers and achievers, right? And what that creates for us, from a psychological perspective, is that we're always sort of in this mode of like, what's the next thing? What's the next goal? Where do I have to place my next step, right? And if we allow ourselves to get swept up in that, then it just becomes a constant stress and a constant anxiety because we're constantly in work mode. And one of the things that I've discovered that I think you're sort of discovering too, or have discovered, Vince, is that like I have to find a balance in my life of being in that work mode, but also, I mean, I know it's such a stupid saying, but it's so real, of stopping to smell the flowers, right?
Yeah.
Of like we're only on this earth for this go around, and if we're constantly on this achievement goal setting mode, we forget, man, we forget where we've come from, we forget the beauty that's around us at all moments. And I think we need to learn to have a balance of going out there, growth, expansion, but also like realizing the beauty that's around us on a day to day, right? The how far we've come, what we've achieved so far.
And I think you said that beautifully. I recently moved, as you know. I'm in an area now where it's more on your bike. It's a little outside. It's not that city nightlife. I'm in the suburbs, I guess you could say, near the beaches, and I'm enjoying it. I haven't been outside as much as I like. A few times a week I've been on my bike. I live about a mile from a bunch of shops and the water, so I'll go eat and just lock up the bike, and just being more intentional about the kind of breaks I take. I'll take, an hour break, go ride my bike, come back, extend my day. Being in the house all day as well, I don't have the outside office. You really are in work mode the whole day, because when you're doing something you like, you're not really working,
Right.
but you are. I enjoy what I do. But I mean, the list can go on. You can mean things that don't get up to date, the website staying up to date, social media, just time management. I commend everyone listening on out there that posts every day. I know how much time goes into it, how much work. I've been doing a bit better. I'm looking forward to my illustrator being done with the book so she can hop back on reels. I actually just did my own reel this morning but first day of Podfest. I did that one on my own. I don't know how it's gonna be perceived, but it doesn't matter how it is, good or bad. You put yourself out there. It's good to some. It may not be good to others. In life, we're not going to be able to please everybody. Just give it your best. And
Totally,
I think that's something else I've really been trying to work on, is other than the spelling errors in a book, just my former perfectionism. I think a lot of entrepreneurs can be. We want to be great. We want to put forth a good product. And now I'm trying to find myself enjoying more of the process, not just focus on hitting on these numbers, hitting on these goals.
Yeah, man. I saw a really cool quote the other day. It says, now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be great.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, right? Because I think what you're speaking to is like, there's always going to be something to do. There's always going to be something more to do. Right. And again, if we get caught up in that mindset, that's the only place we can live from, we forget like the gratitude, man. Like you get to ride, you're like, hey, man, I'm living by the beach. I get to jump on my bike, enjoy this beautiful Florida weather. Like some people, don't have the luxury of enjoying this weather, even though today it's really cold out there.
Yeah, of course.
So it's just a matter of gratitude, of coming into this place in our hearts and within our minds of like appreciating the things that we have. That doesn't mean that we can't continue to strive, but it also means that we can find that balance of like, man, what I've achieved up until now is pretty beautiful, and I can really sort of learn to appreciate that.
Even as far as when things get tough, the ups and downs in entrepreneurship, when financially, you go from, it's very easy to go from $10,000 to $500 when you're all in entrepreneurship. Even when I hit those low ruts, like I have found it in myself to look around and like, all right, I have an apartment right now. I've got food, I've got these things that like, all right, at the end of the day, I'm taking care of where I need to be taken care of. And I think that changed my perspective and mindset along the way. I mean, we talked about my story again before here, when you think back to like the really dark days and the times I did struggle and the times I really still don't even speak about to this day.
Yeah.
You have to appreciate how far you've come. And I know that
embracing the struggle, right?
I've got to be close. I've got to be close to, getting out there, my message really being on a larger scale. There's a lot of work that's been put in. I think this Mommy Me book, can't wait. We have Carlos's child, Jonah, making the cameo at the end of the book. And to catch everybody up again, Going to School is going to be the official book for toddlers. I wrote it in English and Spanish. It teaches kids English and Spanish, conjugating the words, and not just he and she, there's also they, because we have pronouns now. I'm being very mindful of being able to help as many people as I can I want to be able to help these kids where, okay, some parents don't know English and Spanish, or I'd say maybe a lot of parents aren't bilingual. So I'm teaching them the basics. And the real goal of the book is it all starts at home. As a substitute teacher, as one of my side hustles, and during these work, a lot of parents aren't starting it at home. They're just sending the kids to school and like it's a babysitting service. And that's so not fair for these teachers. So I'm hoping to encourage the household to the mindfulness techniques. And it's now called the Healthy Minds book series, which is I'm really proud of, because Carlos is part of these books as well. Everyone who has Mental Health Week, that will be now book 3 in the series, working backwards. But I want to help everyone just feel more comfortable with their mental health. If you can't talk about it, I understand. There's books out there that can be great, not just mine. And I hope to play a small part in everybody's recovery with these podcasts, especially.
Yeah, Vince, man, I love you, buddy. I love the work that you're doing out there, man. You're like a guiding light, just helping sort of spread awareness and understanding where it needs to start, right? With our kids. Like, I'm a father to a 5-month-old now. And so even though I knew as a clinical psychologist, I'm more keenly aware of how absolutely important it is to teach our youth to be able to manage their emotional health, right? Sadness, guilt, shame, all of these things that we feel without a sense of guilt and shame, right? To be able to experience sadness when it comes up, to be able to manage those tough feelings, those tough emotions really early on, so we're not struggling with them later on in life.
Yeah, and I'm looking at, I haven't decided if I'm going to share it and take away the person's name, but I got a really heartfelt message on Instagram the other day. It says, "Thank you for being you, dude. An inspiration, a blip in my mind during recovery, and a blip is all I need. I'm in recovery for substance abuse. I'm not relating that to you. I just see someone that I know, was not close to, reviving from something they never saw coming, and it gave me strength. Even though my struggle has nothing to do with what you came back from, I just want to let you know you're an inspiration to people who are struggling, and we see it. Thank you." And that really hit home for me, because, you don't always see who you're affecting. A lot of people don't reach out, like the pictures, comment the pictures. So for me, you think, how big of a difference am I making? But behind the scenes, this is someone I was not friends. I know from just networking, doesn't live near me, I know from just around the way. And
But that's huge. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I will say this, I think when we walk our truth, right, when we tell our story, even the hard parts of our story, we allow that to happen for other people. We allow ourselves to be a light for those other people that are struggling. And I'll tell you right now, man, we're all in recovery from something, right? From some struggle, from some hardship in life. So we can relate on that, right? In the common hardship of being a human being walking, this path of life. It's hard. And so I think when we walk in our truth, when we tell our story, when we share our hardships, we really show up for each other in a beautiful way. And there's a perfect friggin' message from somebody. How inspiring, brother. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great, because my friends group, my close circle isn't my target audience for my business. Right. So I'm starting my company on Instagram. When I start, it's very popular, and you're not getting the support and love you feel from the people around you. So you're like, why? And eventually you just don't take things personal, because that's no way to live. At first, it's like, why are these people not supporting? But they're not my target market. So in entrepreneurship, with this podcast, I've been able to branch out. I do think Instagram is dying just by the interaction I see on it, which I'm excited about, because I had the shiny object with Instagram for YouTube, and I started to use YouTube a lot more, and I freaking love it, because writing with authors is one of my series I host on there. And it's nice to offer people the full behind the scenes. We still have to get Carlos's book up and running. We're going to get him on the show too. But Carlos, once again, please do share where everybody can find you online, and find Tampa Counseling and Wellness, and sign up for an appointment if they need.
Yeah. So again, on social media, Tampa Counseling and Wellness, on Facebook and Instagram. They can go to our website, tampacw.com. And again, we're located here in Tampa. If they want to reach out to us by phone, 813-520-2807. And, if you're in a place where you're struggling with something, know that you're not alone. Vince and I, just before we came on the broadcast here, we're talking about, like, this week was really tough for me. I was in a really, really dark place. And, you know, here I was trying to struggle alone. And the more I tried to struggle with what I was dealing with, the darker it got. But when I sort of turned to the people around me, and the people that I trust, or, you know, even people that I know that could sort of help me out, right? Help that lending hand. So reach out. If you're in that place, just reach out. Just reach out.
Appreciate you offering that. And we are at That Entrepreneur Show, and I'm at Vincent A. Lancey on Instagram. We've been condensing all there. The show is hashtag That Entrepreneur Show, and you can find more on YouTube, Vincent A. Lancey channel, vincentalancy.com. And this is the final episode of the Gasparilla Overload. So we all finally have a break with the show for a few days. Next Friday, we're starting back up. Carlos, thank you for ending the overload with me.
Thank you, brother. Great to be on.